Hello everybody, Ron1 here again for Dunbro's World in the little weird shop shoved down to this end because it's still got the cornhole boards for Summit Jeep and Prescott down there getting clear coats on them. Anyway, today I'm going to just kind of do a little work on this PMR 30 KelTec. What's been going on is I put a Fastfire 2 sight on it, pretty small light sight, red dot, with a tandem cross rail. And I use the tandem cross rail because it is a little lighter than the KelTec one. And the reason for that is because I hear these things can be a little weight sensitive and not function. So I did that, got the sight on, took it out for the first time, just real quick, only didn't have much time. Had a lot of malfunctions. So I went back out a little later, video on it, and shot it. Had the same issues with both of the mags I have. About every second or third shot, it would just not quite feed in. It would hit, and what I'd have to do is just back off the rail just slightly and the slide just slightly, let it go, and it feeds. It's just barely hanging up every time. Same issue when it did hang up. So what I got out of that experience was one, which had nothing to do with the feeding, but maybe I noticed these tandem cross rail came a little loose, and it looks like I don't have the screws down all the way. I know they were Loctite, but it is got some movement, and like my brother Mad Mikey said, that could be affecting it somewhat because you're not getting the full value of the weight. If that is loose, it might not be, just like if you were kind of holding the gun too loose. So I did concentrate on holding the gun tight last time out. That didn't help, but maybe this being loose. And I noticed the feed ramp in there just looks like hell. So I want to take it apart today and clean it up and see what's going on with the feed ramp, if it's actually rusty or what. And then go out, try it again with the sight, and then take the sight off to make sure it's just not the gun having worse issues than I had before. Prior to any of this, this PMR wasn't 100% reliable. It would, I might shoot 30, 40 rounds, no problem. Then one round would hang up. Then it might go 30, 40, 50 rounds, one round hang up. So it hasn't been 100% reliable. But with the sight on, it isn't reliable at all. So let's get going. Take this thing apart and see if we can take a better look at that feed ramp. So what we got to do is, directions say, I haven't had this apart much, is cock it, put the safety on, push out this assembly pin here, little pin there, and then slide it off forward. There we go. Pretty easy. And this gives me good access to the feed ramp, and it doesn't look too clean or in good shape. Let me get my little zombie Preon 1 flashlight out. Yeah, it's pretty gunky looking. I'm kind of looking at the corners of the feed ramp here too. Looks like the bullets could have been hitting that, because that's kind of what was happening. The bullet typically would be just at a slight angle, bumping against the side of the feed ramp, so you pull it back just a hair and it would straighten it enough to go in. So I'm going to try first just cleaning up that all up in there real good, maybe just buffing it with a little buffing pad. If that makes it better, then maybe I'll come back in with some, I think it's called Flitz, and polish that a little bit and try it. So anyway, let's get this thing cleaned up. And I think first I'm going to tighten up this rail here. Get it Loctited again and see if that's going to, or maybe I won't Loctite it since it might come off if this doesn't work. I'll just tighten it down until I get my next test in. So that little screw was pretty dang loose. That one's loose. I don't know if I just didn't have them all the way tight. They did come from the factory. The screws came with the rail from Tandem Cross, and they did have Loctite bands on them already. If they come loose again, I'll put my own Loctite on them and try it. But like I said, I think I'll just tighten them down, give it another test. There, that's tight. And then if it works with the sight, if what I'm doing fixes my issue, all these are loose, I can give it my own Loctiting. That's a tight fit on that Allen. Fastfire 2 gives you this Allen also with the sight. Or maybe it was Tandem Cross, I don't remember. Anyway, this Allen came with one or the other. So every screw was loose. Go back and check this first one. So that should take care of the sight issue for now. Be loose, and I haven't even got into accuracy yet with that sight and adjusting it. Been working the issues with the feeding. So now let's start out by just cleaning and brushing this ramp there. Got a little gun scrubber which I have bought, and I don't think I've even used it yet. So we'll give this a try. Yeah, got a little brush here. Oh, this nice small end. That's, oh yeah, that's nice. Kind of really stiff bristles. I guess I should have showed you a close-up of this ramp before I started on it, how kind of crappy it looked. Oh, it's getting better already. Tell you what, it doesn't look like the smoothest machining in the world. Maybe this has been issues all along. Maybe polishing up this feed ramp will solve all the problems I've had all along the way. So, that looks much better. It's still, like I said, it's not very slick. I mean, even running a Q-tip over it with some of that cleaner on it, it just, I mean, it doesn't really, it has resistance, it doesn't really slide. Maybe I just got a lot of carbon gunk build up here. Tell you the truth, I probably have maybe, I don't know, maybe only 400 rounds to do this since I got it. So I don't know, I might have cleaned it once, but I don't think I've ever cleaned this ramp. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty black on the Q-tip there, so it's got a lot of buildup on there. And now the Q-tip is sliding easier. So, you know, this may have been my problem. You know, I mean, I know 22s are filthy bullets, magnums or long rifles, but I've just never been an over cleaner, but probably just not cleaning enough. Cleaning the sides of that ramp and the center of it. Yeah, I don't have any more dark coming off of there, any black, so let's just put a little lubricant on that, light. This is break-free CLP, cleaner lubricant preservative. Yeah, got a little more of the black off of there, so I don't know, this thing should, I had a feeling that might have been a big issue with this thing, you know? Guess I gotta clean my guns a little more often, you know? Just a little bit. I don't want to overdo it now. Come on, man. You know. My Uncle Ed always kind of preached, don't over clean your guns. Now, obviously you got to clean them, but a lot of people just over clean the hell out of them. Run a brush down the barrel after shooting 20 rounds, and I don't know. So that's a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this apart, clean this barrel offline, and take a look in there, see how bad the barrel is, and then we'll come back. We're back and got this thing cleaned up and lubricated, and got that feed ramp about as good as I'm going to get it right now without having something to actually polish it with, which could be the next step. So let's put this thing back together here. Put the pin back in. Pin is in. You know, one thing that did happen to me with this gun pretty early on was that pin broke, and I guess they had issues with that. So I contacted KelTec, and they sent out a new improved pin right away. So if you've had that issue and just stuck the gun away, contact KelTec. They'll probably send you that pin free. And it haven't had any issues since that. Put that in there. So okay, we got the gun back together. Rail tightened down. Let's put the sight back on it, and we'll be ready to go back out and put this thing through its paces again with the function test. Get a big ass screwdriver for that, so I'll catch that in a minute. So there, she's all back together. So hopefully here soon we'll put up the next test, which again we'll be firing it, making sure holding it tight with the sight on. If it still has issues, we're going to pull the sight off, shoot it. See if the issues are gone, then we'll know it's the weight of the sight. And as again, this is a Fast Fire 2, I think it is, 2, 3 actually, Fast Fire 3, I think I said 2 earlier. Fast Fire 3, pretty small, pretty light, and I had some Vortex Venoms, they were virtually the same weight, so, for lightness, so, there it is. Let's give it a go. So tune in. Hopefully we get this thing fixed. Check y'all later. Bye-bye.